you are someone affected by the smoke, would be a better day to stay inside. Keep your windows closed and run your central air to keep that smoke out of your house. For today, highs will make their way into the lower 70s, though. Just a few lingering showers that come to an end by noon. Into tonight, clear, still just a bit hazy with a low of 53. And for your Wednesday, 80 degrees for the high with mostly sunny skies and also still a little bit hazy. For your Thursday, this is where we see a chance of showers and thunderstorms returning to the forecast. Just some scattered chances. That actually goes all the way until the weekend, and we'll keep an eye on our temperatures through that time too. Lower 80s expected. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
Currently, we have 65 degrees under cloudy skies here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Yes, indeed, Westside Decorating Center, 5789 State Street in Saginaw. Visit their newly expanded showroom and expanded product lines, including countertops now with the porcelain, granite, and quartz. Everything you need for home decorating, you'll find it at Westside Decorating Center. Later on this morning, after the 10 o'clock news, Jay Samborn is going to visit. We're going to talk about the Bay City Rib Fest, which is the reincarnation of the fest that was around for a long time, the Great Rib Fest that took place for, I don't know, about 20 years that the Dorr family ran. And it has been brought back to life by Jay Samborn, and we'll talk about that this morning. At 11 o'clock on Focus, we're going to learn about the Partnership Network from Samantha Jones. That's what's coming up this morning. In this hour, open phones, whatever you would like to talk about, 989-752-6111 is the number to call. I really didn't spend much time talking about this recently because it's talk about a great publicity stunt. You heard about the fact that Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg had agreed to a cage fight, the two of them. And apparently they're in pretty good shape, I guess. You know, I don't know. I know Zuckerberg is because he does all kinds of military type training. Apparently, Elon Musk's mom, May Musk, who's 75 years old, is against the idea of her son getting hurt in this cage fight. She took to Twitter to share her opposition to the matchup. She told people not to encourage it and that she canceled the fight. Well, I don't know if she did or not. But it was funny because of the attention being paid to it. I mean, you know, could you imagine Zuckerberg and Musk getting into a cage fight? What would the audience be like? Would the television audience be like? Would you like a tale of the tape? What the heck? Zuckerberg versus Musk. And I know this is, far out junk talk, but just thought I'd lighten it up to start this morning before we get into our open phones. All right, Musk and Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg, 39, Musk, 51 years old. Musk has the height advantage at 5'11" over Zuckerberg's 5'7". He has the weight advantage over Zuckerberg, 178 pounds to 154 pounds. He has a higher net worth than Zuckerberg at $236 billion, where poor Mark is only at $103 billion. Zuckerberg, of course, is an American, and Musk is South African. Musk owns Twitter. Zuckerberg owns Meta. Here's things I didn't know. Musk has 9 children. I guess I did hear that in the news. Zuckerberg has 3. Musk owns 7 companies. Zuckerberg only owns 1. And their disciplines, they actually have studied various disciplines. Zuckerberg is an expert in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and Musk has taken karate, taekwondo, judo. It's not that these two don't know how to defend themselves. It might be interesting to see these two in a cage fight. Let's face it. They've both just gotten enough promotion out of it to satisfy themselves for a while. I just chuckled at it. The thought of it, just the thought of it, it made me giggle. What else can these 2 billionaires do to get attention for themselves? Oh, well. I mentioned to you the other day that New York City is considering a congestion pricing plan. In other words, they would charge you X dollars to come into the city with a vehicle at a certain time of the day. Well, apparently it has cleared its final federal hurdle. And apparently it will begin next year in an effort to reduce traffic and pollution in Manhattan. And also they will use the money for mass transit. Now, I have to tell you, having been in New York City just a few weeks ago, I have never seen traffic as bad as it was for a lot of reasons. One, there's a lot more cars, but 2, construction everywhere. And it's closed lanes, it's closed streets. And I mentioned at the time what was a normally 10-minute cab ride from one side of town to the other took 45 minutes and cost a fortune because of it, because the clock keeps ticking in the cab, And we had a great driver. I mean, he really tried not to delay things, but he didn't have any choice. So what would happen, according to the information I have, the program would charge drivers a fee to enter Manhattan south of 60th Street, with the aim of discouraging cars from squeezing into one of the world's busiest commercial districts. Well, I understand that. The Federal Highway Administration granted approval on Monday. And now the local MTA, the Metropolitan Transportation Authority, can decide on toll rates and discounts and exemptions and allowances and all of that. Now, the MTA, for those of you not familiar with New York, the MTA runs all the subways, runs all the buses, a consolidation. At one time, even the subway systems, when they were first organized, were separates. There was the IRT, Independent Rapid Transit. There were like 2, 3, 4 different subway lines that finally all came together as one subway system. And now the MTA runs the whole subway system and all the buses. And also the commuter railroads. So what they are proposing would be enough to keep me from driving in Manhattan. They would charge, and these were preliminary numbers because they haven't finalized them. They would charge $23 for a rush hour trip into Midtown, $17 during off-peak hours. And this could begin as soon as spring of next year. It's expected to generate about $1 billion annually because people will pay it to come into the city. Now, if you have never driven in New York City, let me give you a fair warning. Forget about parking. And if you do park in one of the garages, it'll cost you more than your annual house payment. It's amazing. And there are cars everywhere. You wonder how the city handles them. And by the way, it's not favored by all. New Jersey leaders have cast congestion pricing as evidence of a border war, and they have threatened legal action. And they've passed a so-called Stay in Jersey bill. And this is giving grants to employees and companies, allowing employees to work from their New Jersey homes. So it's not all, wine and roses for this plan. It's going to be interesting. I mean, look at all the things that are happening with regard to the automobile. We talked about this yesterday. The possibility of registering and paying for your car tax by the mileage you drive. Here, going into a congested city, pay a premium price to be able to drive in the city. It's going to be interesting to see the reaction. I mean, you wouldn't have to look too far. In Bay City, of course, we understand the Liberty Bridge is now being tolled. And when the new Independence Bridge is revitalized and rehabbed, that will also have a toll on it. And history has shown them, and they did their research, they will lose a certain percentage of motorists going to the free bridges to the south. But a large majority of people will still use those bridges. People are willing to pay for convenience. Now, I have to tell you, from my standpoint, and having grown up in New York, having driven in New York, I wouldn't pay for the privilege of driving in New York City. I would park at a train station someplace and take the train into Manhattan. It makes no sense to drive in Manhattan. It really does not. But there are those people who will pay for the convenience of having their vehicle when they want to go, how they want to go, where they want to go. And every time we turn around, government in one way or another is trying to figure out how to get their hand in our pocket. And we pay for it. We pay for it because we want the convenience of doing whatever it is they're charging us for. And they know it. So if you're planning a trip to New York next spring, don't drive. We'll take a break. Lines are open for you. Saginaw, Bay City, 989-752-6111. Open for them today, whatever you'd like to chat about. I want to chat about McDonald Ford in Freeland. They have been my car dealer for a long time. They're located on M47. And not only do they sell the great product lines from Ford, but they also are buying cars. That's right. Let's say you have a vehicle you're not using anymore, or a vehicle you want to get out from under. Well, there's a way to do that with McDonald Ford. I want you to email joe@mcdonaldford.com. That's the address, joe@mcdonaldford.com. Ask him the procedure to sell your vehicle to McDonald Ford, and he will tell you what you need to do in terms of photos to send and documentation. After they get all of that, they will make you an offer for your vehicle. You decide, and if you decide to accept that offer, payment on the spot right now. You say, yes, I'll take your offer. They say, come in, bring your car, and get the check. And it includes all paperwork. It includes the lien release if you have one, all included. So don't wait. Put some cash in your pocket today. Tell your family and friends, let them do it too. Again, it's Joe at McDonaldFord.com. Joe at McDonaldFord.com. McDonald Ford, 6790 Midland Road in Freeland, devoted to helping and serving you.
Moments like seeing my son's team cheer him on mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There's surprising strength in the update on demand for durable goods, expensive manufactured things, everything from cars to airplanes. Durable goods orders for May rose 1.7%. Excluding transportation, the increase was 0.6%. Economists were expecting durable goods orders to decline. Delta CEO Ed Bastian says travel demand is off the chain. Delta is raising its forecast for earnings and is more optimistic about this year. European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde says it is likely the ECB will raise interest rates next month. Electric truck startup Lordstown Motors is reorganizing under Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Lordstown is suing its partner Foxconn, accusing it of backing out of its contract. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. We are, for the most part, a reactionary society. If your neighbor has a break-in, you think about getting an alarm. If your buddy gets laid off, you say, I better buckle down at work. If banks start closing, you may want to ask yourself if you should keep most or all of your money in a bank. It may be time for a portfolio protection plan. It may be time to have a little personal gold reserve. Call my friends at the Oxford Gold Group. Call 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
The WSGW Morning Team.
The story we have concerning the Rolling Stones is the announcement of a new limited edition Start Me Up Keurig coffee kit for just $139.99. Only 400 of these specialty coffee makers have been made. Each comes also with a special Spotify playlist handpicked by the Rolling Stones so you can listen to their music while you drink out of their coffee machine. Would it be rude for me to suggest that, considering the advanced maturity of the Rolling Stones, that perhaps a Geritol or maybe a prune juicer would have been more appropriate to attach?
The Morning Team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW and to the phones. Scott's in Saginaw. Good morning, Scott. Yeah, well, here's the bottom line. Nothing will change until the public decides to change it. It's the bottom line, isn't it? Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. It's not going to change until somebody changes it. Until the public decides to change it, it's not going to change.
The moral conscience, so we wouldn't vote in these corrupt people for our Republican and Democrat leaders. You know, so I think
good
it
luck
goes
with
back
that.
to that.
I agree, but good luck.
I know.
I have typically, Scott, I am an eternal optimist. I have never been so pessimistic in my life. So I just, I shake my head. I just don't understand it. Never will, but have to accept the fact that's the way this country is right now. And until more people are convinced to change it, it isn't going to change, and it's, I had to chuckle the other day. Pelosi comes out. She wants term limits on the Supreme Court because they can make their own rules. To which I immediately said, well, I guess we ought to have term limits on Congress because guess what? They make their own rules.
Yep.
So,
well, here's one for Nancy.
Yeah.
Here's one for Nancy since she likes strong laws. Hunter Biden would have been a perfect example of what to do with somebody who illegally owned a gun and then threw it away. This guy, and again, whether it would have been Donald Trump's kid or whatever, that's the perfect guy to go get. Say nobody can get away with that.
Yeah, well,
but instead,
good luck.
But instead, the guy squandered millions on prostitutes, crack cocaine, threw his gun away.
Yeah. All right.
Wonderful Democrats.
Cool enough.
All right, Art.
Good enough. Thanks. And now for the other side.
Wow.
Carl is with us this morning. Carl, good morning.
Good morning, Art. I didn't know I was going to be following that particular caller. But I don't want to get off in the weeds. I actually wanted to talk about the Secret Service today.
Okay.
What about them? Yesterday, Secret Service members gave testimony in front of a grand jury about January 6th, what happened on January 6th.
Yep.
One of the things that has come out is that Trump requested ahead of time that he wanted to go to the Capitol, which shows pre-planning, forethought of what he was doing.
Yeah, but let me ask you something, Carl. You brought this up, so let me ask you a question, all right? They're investigating Trump for instigating all of this, correct? Yes? Okay. Because of the speech he gave in Washington just before the riot, correct?
Not just that.
Oh, really? That's what I always heard. I heard because he incited them to do it. So, because here's my question. Here's my question.
All the things he
Carl,
said.
let me ask my question first. Let me ask my question. Apparently, one of the things the federal enforcement folks are being accused of is ignoring a whole bunch of conversation many days prior indicating that there was going to be a riot at the Capitol. So how can they blame Trump's speech for something that was already planned?
Well, I'll answer it, okay?
I can't wait to hear it.
Because for 2 months before January 6th, Trump was saying over and over again the election was stolen.
Two different things.
And we have to take the country back. So he was saying that long before January 6th. He was saying it for 60 days.
Well, that's conversation. Politicians have conversation all the time about things they don't agree with. That doesn't say go riot, does it?
Just what he said. It wasn't just what he said on January 6th. It was pre-planned. They had these fake electors lined up that they were going to send into the Capitol. This didn't just happen spontaneously. And that's what they're going to
No, they weren't sending fake electors into the Capitol.
Well, they have, yes. There were people who were going in. They were coming up with fake credentials saying that they were electors from different states. And and coming to certify their votes. And these people are being charged with crimes also. But something else also unusual happened on January 5th and 6th, that all the text messages from the Secret Service were deleted. Now, they said that this was part of a pre-planned switchover of equipment.
Yeah, that's old news.
But it seems, well, still, it seems to me very, very odd that they lost all their text messages from the January 5th and the 6th. You know, that's quite a coincidence, you know, for those days. And it seems odd to me that you're telling me the NSA or the CIA, can't go into Verizon and get these messages back or something like that.
So let me ask you this. Since obviously you believe there was mischief and that it should be investigated, people should be held accountable.
Yes.
We have whistleblowers now saying that there was all kinds of information about Hunter Biden and Joe Biden and their mischief. Should that also be investigated? And that should be held to the same standard? Okay, good.
Yes, obviously.
All right, good, good. That's all I want to hear.
Throw Hunter Biden in prison. Put Hunter Biden in prison if that would
What about Joe
happy?
if he were
if
guilty
that would
of...
make Scott happy?
Well, wait. No, that's not about making people happy. It's about right and wrong.
Well, you're comparing apples and oranges.
No, we're not. We're comparing how the justice system works. That's what we're comparing. How the justice system works or doesn't work.
And you think Trump is being treated worse than anybody else?
Yeah.
You think Trump is being treated worse?
Yeah, I do.
Or he's not getting special treatment because he's an ex-president?
I don't know. Is he indicted? Seems to me he's got 37 counts he's facing, and he's got more probably coming.
Was he hit? Art, let me ask you a question. Was Trump handcuffed when he was arrested?
Nope, because he voluntarily surrendered.
Yeah, but
they didn't come and get him.
Procedure to be handcuffed?
I don't know. Considering that he has Secret Service protection and that he is a former president,
so he got special.
He got
special treatment.
He gets certain consideration because he's
taken?
Well, let me ask you this: if Biden were guilty of something and he were treated the same way, would that be special treatment? Because that's what would happen.
But I'm
answering the question.
Was a mugshot taken?
I don't know that.
Mugshot
that
taken?
I don't know.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. So he had special treatment.
Okay, so Biden would get the same special treatment if he were arrested, wouldn't he?
I don't know.
Oh, come on, you do too.
Why would Biden be arrested?
Well, because whistleblowers say he was selling selling success.
Is this what they're talking about? Is this what they're talking about on talk radio now? Hunter Biden and whistleblowers that don't show up for hearings?
I am amazed that folks on the left totally want to ignore the Bidens, only want to look at Trump. People on the right only want to look at the Bidens, don't want to look at Trump. It's amazing.
All right. You're talking the difference between somebody trying to overthrow the government and somebody selling
the government. That's what we're talking about. All right, I got to run, Carl. I'm way late here for a break. I'm way late. Got to run. Okay. Bye-bye.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Ogama County Fair. You are going to get the ultimate fair package. It's normally $219, but you are getting yours for just $129.50. The ultimate fair pass includes 2 tickets to see Shenandoah and Noah Thompson, 4 weekly gate passes, 4 home-cooked dinners, and 4 grandstand passes. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now and snag your deal before it sells out.
RocketGrabPlus.com. For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing in me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new plan. Nothing is every day.
Don't
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, you can achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
I'm Rocky Moselle with StarRegistry.com. Since we were children, we've been told to reach for the stars. It was great advice. Now it's a great gift. Name a star after someone. For $54 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit StarRegistry.com, we will name a star after someone very special to you and send an incredible personalized gift. The new star name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Call the Star Registry, 800-282-3333 or visit StarRegistry.com for the hottest gift.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make it fun and engaging, so you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. You can choose from topics like travel, business, relationships, and more. You'll learn what matters most to you. Plus, Babbel's lessons are designed to get you speaking right away. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations.
Just 3 weeks? Even better.
Since Babbel's lessons are designed by language experts and voiced by real native speakers, you'll get the accents just right and be able to carry on conversations with confidence.
Learning a language with Babbel doesn't take long.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
And now, try Babbel free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Did you know the Founding Fathers had to be talked into declaring independence? Hi, I'm Gil Gross, and on the Independence Day special from CBS News Radio, we'll tell you about Tom Paine, the guy who George Washington thought was a dangerous radical. But when George needed fiery prose to get the troops ready for battle, he let Tom do it. That's the real story of King George III walking in the footsteps of the Revolution and more here on the Independence Day special from CBS News Radio.
The CBS Independence Day Special, July 4th, 9 to noon on WSGW.
Broadcasting from the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios. This is WSGW.
All right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show, and let's continue on. Paul is in Saginaw. Paul, good morning. Paul, just a minute. Go ahead, Paul.
Yep. Yeah, Art, I'm going to change the subject a little bit. In the latest issue of my Minnesota Church newspaper dated June 22nd, which was just last Thursday, they were able to obtain a weekly menu of what Joe Biden eats every week. And I'm going to just summarize what he eats rather than listing everything.
Who cares?
Well, they said he eats like a kid, and here's what he eats. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yummy.
Yummy. Yeah. BLTs.
I love them.
Pizza.
Okay.
Cookies. Here's a good one. Spaghetti with butter and red sauce. And he finishes the whole thing off with an ice cream sundae. Now, his diet is so high.
And let's see, he's made it to 80 years old and still going strong.
Yeah, well, here's why his diet is so high in starch, sugar, and carbs, because we got to keep him awake. We got to give him some energy.
All right.
Otherwise, he'd be asleep in some wheelchair in some nursing home.
Okay.
So, but that's what he eats on a weekly basis.
I have a better question. Why do you subscribe to that church newspaper?
Because they give you news you ain't going to hear anyplace else, and they give it to you straight.
As you see it. As you see it.
Well,
what makes them more accurate or honest or forthcoming than any other news source?
Well, you would think that a church newspaper is going to be more truthful than any other publication or any other source. because they try to screen all the information and check it out and verify, et cetera, et cetera. So it's usually a little more accurate than what you're going to hear in the national news media, where they cover up a lot of stuff and they don't give it to you straight. So that's why I subscribe to it.
Good enough.
But all
right. So
alrighty.
we'll take the president's diet and we'll hold it in abeyance. Okay.
All right.
Good enough. Thanks.
All right. Later.
Bye now. All right. Let's take a break here. We'll get to Errol when we return.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money. Guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
Imagine getting ahead of your irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C by treating it with Linzess. Then you could start proactively managing your constipation with belly pain and get ahead of your symptoms. Talk to your doctor about Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now. Uma. What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Uma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at Uma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
The WSGW Morning Team.
The WSGW online poll for you involves the cash mandates. Detroit just becoming the largest city, along with some states that now mandate businesses must accept cash as a form of payment. Cash mandates generally require cash to be accepted, or at least a kiosk available to exchange cash for a card to use at a specific location. There's convenience, less operating expense, and security being cited as reasons for being cashless. Those that prefer cash say they don't want to use cards. They have concerns about security, don't want to pay extra fees. So the poll question is to get your view about cash mandates. Do you think there should be a federal law requiring cash mandates? Do you think states or cities should decide on their own about cash mandates? Do you think there shouldn't be any cash mandates at all? Or you're not sure? Head to WSGW.com, scroll down, find the poll box, and make your vote that way.
Your Morning Team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, we're back here on WSGW. Let's get back to our phones. Errol is in Saginaw. Good morning, Errol.
Good morning. First thing, there is going to be a flyover Michigan by military aircraft. Somehow they forgot this area of the state. Would you get a hold of one of those guys with 5 stars on their hat and say why? And why are we not going to be able to see it? You know people all over. You know those people with 5 stars across their hat. Do something nice for us for a change instead of just going on vacation. Okay, that's the first thing. Now you can mull that over for a while. Everyone loves airplanes, and it would be nice to have them fly over this area. And that's the only thing about that this morning, sir. But now let's get to my favorite topic. That I've had the same opinion of Trump from the day he started to run for office. He was a sleazebag then. He's a double sleazebag now. They should have arrested him with handcuffs, and they're going to finally nail him. Him and Putin have been buddies for years and years. And Trump is a sleazebag. He has been from the time he's got in office. And I don't care what the rest of the Republicans think. He is a sleazebag, period. He has done nothing but make everyone in this country miserable. If you rip that headpiece of his, there are 3 switches on top of it. That's all I'm got to say today, sir. You feel wonderful.
I'm glad you don't like him.
Well, I've hated him from the day he got in office because he's responsible for the misery that this country's been going through since the day he got in office.
I don't know about that. But, all right. Good enough, Harold.
Other than that, you know my opinion, sir.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Yeah, I think, never mind. Let's talk to Tim in Midland. Tim, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
Hey, me and my wife are on our way to Subaru Thalen in Bay City, and we're going to test drive one of those Subaru Ascents. They ever let you test drive one of them?
Yeah, they're very nice.
Was it the Onyx edition?
I don't remember that. Could be. I don't know.
Well, I wanted to make a comment about what Scott said about people not caring about lawlessness. And I just see it a little differently. We do care about it, but there's nothing I can do tonight before, say, midnight that's going to make Merrick Garland change his mind. I'm outraged that Joe Biden's not being looked into the way that Trump is being looked into. But there's nothing. I'm more concerned about my kids. I got a family of 5 to raise, and I just can't pay attention all the time to what's going on in the news to the point that I guess Scott wants us to.
Well, here's the thing. I hear you, and I hear what you're saying, but I want you, no matter what your political views, what side of the aisle, doesn't matter. At some point in time, I want you to pay attention to the news, because come the next time you have to vote, I want you to vote from an informed position.
Well, I can assure you it won't be for Joe Biden.
I could hear that. I assumed that.
All right, Art.
I assumed that, but you understand what I'm saying. You know, I mean, it's it really bothers me that that we don't take voting more serious in this country than we do.
You're right.
Particularly local voting. I mean, you know, the voting that you have the most influence on, we get the lightest turnouts. Makes no sense.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
All right.
So, hey,
listen, you take care of those 5 kids.
All right, Art. You have a great day.
All right. Take care, Tim. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
All right. Still have time to get another call in, squeeze one in here. But I really, that has been a pet peeve of mine forever. The fact that in this greatest country in the world, where we have all these privileges and the right to determine our political future, that we just abandon that responsibility. And even more so, I mean, you know, you have more say in local elections, who runs your cities and townships, who runs your schools, you know, what you pay for. You have more say in those elections, and they get the lightest turnout. Now, I understand why presidential elections get huge turnouts. They're all over the news. You can't eat, drink, sleep without hearing about it. And I understand that. I don't understand why we don't put the same attention to local elections. That I don't understand. So anyway, we get these calls cleared right away. We'll get to them. We've got a couple of callers maybe coming in here. And let's see. I'm not sure if that one's ready, so I guess I better not do anything. I better wait, or I'm liable to be surprised. All right. Anyway, a couple of other things. Heat. Don't go south. There is a heat dome over Texas and the general South, and we're going to get some of it later this week, but not like they are. When you have heat indexes in the 110s, 115s, I mean, that's amazing. Several Texas cities set or tied all-time record high temperatures. Del Rio, 115, Laredo, 115, San Angelo, 114. And It feels like of 125 in Corpus Christi. Whoa, it's a big heat dome. It's a region of high pressure and it traps the heat over an area. And it's covering quite a bit of the south. That is just scary. Scary hot. I'm not, and they say dry heat, by the way, it's not as bad. Guess what? If you're in 115 degree heat, dry or humid, you're hot. I was in Colorado Springs many, many years ago, and it was over 100 degrees, dry heat. I was hot. And not only are you hot in that dry heat, you're not sweating as much that you can detect because it evaporates so fast. So your body cooling system, so. All right, we're going to take our last break, come back and close
Looking for
out.
something fun to do this summer? Come to Knoll View Golf Course in Augrey. They're open to the public with the best outdoor patio on the Sunrise side. Enjoy happy hour at the Final Four Gazebo Bar on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday from 2 to 5. Grab a delicious meal fresh off the grill as well as outdoor music Friday and Saturdays. Bikers welcome. And now serving a breakfast buffet on Sunday. You don't have to be a golfer to have fun at Knoll View Golf Course. Check them out on 23 in Augrey or online at knollviewgolf.com. See you this summer.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. Very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
All right, that'll do it for this hour. And we will be back next hour talking to Jay Samborn about the Bay City Rib Fest coming alive again. It's been a couple of years now that Jay brought it back. Talk to Jay about that and more coming up. But the news is first from CBS. Local report with Michael Percha in the WSGW newsroom. And then we will be back with hour 2 of the Art Lewis Show.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Vladimir Putin was front and center in Moscow today, thanking his military for stopping what he called a civil war after a weekend uprising by Wagner mercenaries. The country has closed a criminal case against the group's leader, Yevgeny Prigozhin. Correspondent Christina Ruffini has more.
It's still very unclear exactly what is happening, how this is going to play out. Now there seems to be an agreement that the Wagner group will operate from Minsk, but this is a group that has tentacles all over the world, including a lot of holdings and a lot of resources in places like Africa, throughout the war in Ukraine.
Belarus has just confirmed Prigozhin arrived there today. Legal analysts say it could be a smoking gun. CBS News has obtained audio of former President Trump showing what were believed to be classified documents to people at his golf club in New Jersey 2 years ago. CBS's Catherine Herridge reports from Washington.
In the special counsel's indictment, they're described as a publisher, a writer, and 2 staffers.
Reuters. It was part of an effort to pull together a biography for his former chief of staff, so they did not have security clearances.
A new report documents 20% of our political leaders have direct links to what's often referred to as this country's original sin. CBS's Jim Krasula.
An examination of genealogies of America's political elite found that at least 100 of the 536 members of the last sitting Congress are direct descendants of ancestors who owned slaves. President Joe Biden and every living former U.S. president except Donald Trump are direct descendants of slave owners. The same for 2 of the 9 sitting U.S. Supreme Court justices and 11 of the 50 U.S. governors.
The first UN investigator to visit the U.S. detention center at Guantanamo Bay is reporting cruel punishment. Correspondent Cammie McCormick has that story.
Investigator Fanula Nialine says the detainees are subject to inhumane and degrading treatment.
After 2 decades of custody, the suffering of those detained is profound and it's ongoing.
Her visit was the first time a U.S. administration has allowed a UN investigator to visit the facility. About 30 prisoners remain there.
Scorching heat is spreading out to more states. Meteorologist Stephanie Abrams at the Weather Channel.
Will be about 5 to 15 degrees above average from Louisiana to Arizona. In fact, some of our high temperatures will actually set records.
Severe storms are causing headaches for travelers. Thousands of flights were canceled or delayed yesterday. So far, well over 2,000 have been affected today, most along the East Coast. The Dow is up 54 points. This is CBS News.
Need to hire quality candidates fast? You need Indeed, the end-to-end hiring solution. Attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why would you pay full price when you know that you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? Check out all of our deals going on right now, from Farmer's Home Tavern in Hemlock, the Ogama County Fair, Music Mixology events, Applied Training Solutions, Unique Floral and Gifts in Bay City, JB's Market in Munger, the Bearded Axe, Frankenmuth Aerial Park, and so many more. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. We are, for the most part, a reactionary society. If your neighbor has a break-in, you think about getting an alarm. If your buddy gets laid off, you say, I better buckle down at work. If banks start closing, you may want to ask yourself if you should keep most or all of your money in a bank. It may be time for a portfolio protection plan. It may be time to have a little personal gold reserve. Call my friends at the Oxford Gold Group. Call 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away